A shadow falls over Tehran. The assassination of Ismail Haniyeh. The Middle East woke to shocking news. Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of Hamas, was dead. Assassinated in Tehran, the heart of Iran. Details remain unclear. But the finger of blame is pointed squarely at Israel. Israel, known for its targeted operations, has remained silent, no claim of responsibility. Yet the silence speaks volumes. This isn't just the death of a man, it's a seismic shift in the region's power balance, and the aftershocks are already being felt. Hamas, reeling from the loss, vowed revenge. Their pronouncements were swift, unequivocal. Haniyeh's death, they declared, would not go unpunished. Iran, harboring the Hamas leader, felt the blow deeply. The assassination, a direct assault on their sovereignty. An act of war whispered on the streets of Tehran. The air crackled with tension. The scent of retribution hung heavy. Retaliation promised. Hamas and Iran react to the killing. Hamas, fueled by grief and rage, promised swift retaliation. The assassination of Haniyeh, a declaration of war. Their response, they promised, would be devastating. Israel would pay a heavy price. The streets of Gaza, already simmering with unrest, erupted. Protests, fueled by anger and despair, filled the streets. The fragile peace shattered. The specter of another conflict loomed large. Iran, a key backer of Hamas, echoed the calls for revenge. The assassination, a blatant act of terrorism, they declared, an attack on Iran itself. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, vowed a crushing response. The perpetrators, he promised, would face the full wrath of Iran. The region held its breath. The situation, already volatile, threatened to spiral out of control. Hezbollah feels the heat. Escalation on the Israeli border. The situation escalated further with the death of a Hezbollah commander. Fuad Shukr, a high-ranking figure in the Lebanese militant group, was killed in an Israeli airstrike. The strike, a calculated move by Israel, aimed to cripple Hezbollah's operational capabilities. Hezbollah, a staunch ally of Iran and Hamas, vowed revenge for the killing of Shukr. Their response, they promised, would be swift and merciless. The Israeli-Lebanese border, already tense, became a tinderbox. Israel, bracing for retaliation, deployed additional troops and armored units to the north. The north of the country, usually bustling with life, took on an eerie silence. Residents, accustomed to the rumblings of conflict, sought refuge in bomb shelters. The fear was palpable. The threat of a wider conflict loomed larger than ever. Section 4. The Specter of War, Iran's Vow, and Regional Instability. Iran's Ayatollah Khamenei, his voice filled with fury, issued a chilling warning. The assassination of Haniyeh, he declared, was a declaration of war. Iran, he promised, would respond decisively. The region, already on edge, braced for the worst. The drums of war beat louder, their rhythm echoing across the region. The assassination of Haniyeh had ignited a firestorm. The international community, caught off guard by the sudden escalation, scrambled to contain the situation. Diplomatic channels, usually dormant, buzzed with activity. World leaders, their faces etched with concern, issued calls for restraint. The situation, they warned, was precarious. One wrong move, one miscalculation could plunge the region into chaos. Section 5. A World on Edge, International Response and the Future of Peace. The international community, deeply alarmed by the escalating tensions, urged all parties to exercise restraint. The United States, seeking to prevent a wider conflagration, engaged in frantic diplomatic efforts. Calls were made, messages exchanged, all aimed at de-escalating the situation. The world watched, holding its breath, hoping against hope for a peaceful resolution. The assassination of Haniyeh has cast a long shadow over the Middle East. The fragile peace, painstakingly built over years, now hangs by a thread. The path forward is fraught with danger. The threat of a wider conflict, once a distant possibility, now feels all too real. The world watches and waits, praying for peace, bracing for the storm.